Cherry lips, crystal skies. Girl, you show me incredible things. Stolen kisses, pretty lies. You're the queen.
Hey guys, it's Felicia, and today I'm going to show you step by step on how I achieve my everyday makeup and how to incorporate some different little items here and there to make it look a little bit more festive for the holiday season. So right now I am barefaced with no moisturizer or anything. I just got done cleansing my skin. So I'm just going to put my bandana in and pull back my hair. Oh my goodness. To pull back my hair while I put on all my makeup. Okay, so the first step that I always do is I moisturize my skin, and I've been using this one from First Day Beauty. It's the Ultra Repair Cream. It's a really great moisturizer, especially during the winter time. And it has a really nice light minty fragrance too, which is kind of refreshing, especially in the morning. Then I like to take a lip balm to moisturize my lips and prep them for the lipstick later on. So I'm using this one from Bath & Body Works. It's called CO Bigelow Rose Salve. And it has a light rose fragrance, but it's basically just like a Vaseline. Next, I'm actually going to use a new foundation, and a couple YouTubers have actually been talking about this, and I've never been a huge fan of this brand. It's the Lancome Nude Miracle Foundation. Fun fact, I actually used to work for Lancome, and I tried a ton of foundations from them in the past, and none of them seemed to work for me. But a lot of people have been raving about this one. So I decided to give it another shot, even though I'm not a huge fan of the brand. Let's just say that. And it's supposed to be a liquid to powder formula that is very lightweight. And I chose the shade 100N, which is neutral. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my Marc Jacobs foundation brush. What is going on? It's like, okay. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put a little bit on my brush. Hopefully it doesn't soak into it, but we shall see. The color seems to be a really good match though. It was the lightest one. I mean, it looks pretty good while I'm applying it, but I have to test it throughout the day to see if I really like it and how it holds up on my oily skin. Have you guys went Christmas shopping yet? I am almost done. It seems like my dad always asks me to pick out my mom's gifts, and then my mom always gets me to help her pick out my dad's gifts. So I'm kind of like the middleman of Christmas, and I always have to get gifts for other people. So I've been like running around trying to get different gifts already for Christmas, because the closer to Christmas, the malls and everywhere just gets crazy. So I try to get done all my Christmas shopping before, you know, all the chaos starts. I really like online shopping too. I seem to be doing a lot of that this year. Coverage of this foundation seems to be really good. I'm actually pretty impressed. Not bad. Not bad. This is seriously my favorite foundation brush that I have ever used. It's the Marc Jacobs The Face 2 brush, and it's on an angle, which is really nice to get like right underneath of your eyes or like the creases of your nose. It is pretty pricey, but it is definitely worth it, and it's actually my favorite Marc Jacobs brush that I own. I have 3 different ones, and I'm most likely going to use all 3 in this video, but this one is definitely my favorite, and it just makes my face look flawless every single time I use it. I'm actually pretty shocked that the foundation blended into my skin really nicely. Usually foundation can be a little tiny bit too dark for me, even if it is the lightest shade, but this foundation seems to match perfectly. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it looks really good. So if you have pale skin, I definitely recommend the 100N. Next, for concealer, I've been using this Maybelline, what is this even called? Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Fair, which is the lightest shade. Comes in a tube like this. I just kind of drag it along underneath of my eye. And then I also dip it back in and go straight down and kind of bring it out in a triangle. I use the same exact foundation brush. It gets right underneath of the eyes really nicely. And this brush is so soft, it won't irritate your eyes either. Now I'm going to take my favorite acne covering concealer. It's from MAC. It is the Studio Finish Concealer in NC15. It's the little pot concealer. As you can tell, I like this a lot. And I use my Marc Jacobs, the concealer brush, which is a miniature version of the foundation brush that I use. They are both on an angle or slant, and they're really great. So I just kind of dip it in the concealer a little bit, and any blemishes that I see, I just lightly tap the concealer on. I've been using this concealer for years. I don't mean 4 years, I mean 4 years, like maybe 7 or 6 years, I want to say. It is awesome, especially if you have acne. It covers everything and it stays put, and it is wonderful. I do not like it for underneath of my eyes though. I've been asked that a couple times every time I mention this concealer. It's not good for under the eyes. It is just too thick. Underneath of my eyes, to set the concealer, I like to use the Bare Minerals concealer in Well Rested. It's a powder concealer and it has little tiny micro shimmers that's supposed to help brighten underneath of your eyes. So I just tap a little amount, and I use any type of brush for this. It doesn't really matter. Right now I'm using the Bare Essentials Max Coverage Concealer brush. It's just a very flat type of brush, and I just pat it right underneath of my eyes. When you apply a powder on top of a liquid product, or a cream product for that matter, you want to always pat the powder in, because if you just slide or swipe it, that defeats the purpose of even applying a concealer or a foundation, because it will just wipe it away or kind of smear it. So you definitely just want to do that patting motion. I use this powder all the time, and it is from Physicians Formula. It's the Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder in the shade Translucent Light. I go through these so quick. I would say maybe once a month I have to get a new one. And I love using the Real Techniques, what is this called? The buffing brush. So I just kind of tap it in and tap the powder on my face. Like I was saying before, you definitely want to tap the powder into your face. So that's basically what I do. I just keep tapping it in and patting it into my face. If you get oily throughout the day, this powder will definitely absorb it. And since this powder is talc free, it will not crease throughout the day, which is another huge bonus. So if you're like me, you always have a smile on your face, or if you're just very expressive in the way that you talk with your eyebrows and all that, I definitely recommend a talc free powder, because you will not get those crease lines. And this powder also gives you a airbrush finish. And who does not want their makeup to look airbrush? I mean, hello. I talked about this bronzer in a favorites video, and it is amazing. I actually just ordered a couple more during Cyber Monday because they were 50% off. So it is the Body Shop, the bronzing powder in the shade Light Matte. I believe it's like their honey bronzer, but this is the perfect shade if you have pale, light skin. It is beautiful. I definitely recommend this. I've tried so many bronzers in the past, and none of them compare to this bronzer. It is gorgeous. It is matte. The color is perfect. So I like to contour first and then blend it out. So first I'm using the NARS Ita brush. I have a review on my channel about this brush, so you can watch that video if you want to learn a little bit more about the brush and some other dupes that I found for it. So anyway, I dab it in the bronzer, tap it off a little bit, kind of suck in my face and contour away. And then I move my brush sideways to kind of blend it up. And I start moving on the top of my temple and onto my forehead. And as you can see, this bronzer just gives such a nice, beautiful, natural color. And it doesn't look too heavy or just too dark at all. So this is without and this is with. It is just stunning. It just gives your face a little tiny bit of color and dimension without looking crazy or just like, I don't know, it just looks so good. So I just do the same thing to the other side. And then I also dab a little bit into the bronzer. And I go right down the sides of my nose. That will just help contour my nose a little bit too. It's not like I have a big honker, but I mean, it looks good when I contour it, so whatever, to each their own. A little tiny bit on my chin. And that's about it for the NARS Ita brush. So then I go ahead and take my Marc Jacobs, the bronze brush. This is so soft, and I just use it to just blend out that bronzer. It is so soft. It is seriously like applying a bunny on your face. But I just kind of blend everything together, even the nose, and this will just make it look a little bit more natural. And then I take a little tiny bit more of the bronzer and I just go right down my neck and underneath my chin too. For blush, I've been using this blush non-stop during winter time. It is from Tarte. It is in the shade Exposed, and it's a beautiful light rose, but it's not like very bright. It just looks really nice and natural when you apply it. And I'm using the It Cosmetics Blush Angled brush, and I really love It Cosmetic brushes. They're really great quality and one of my favorite brands. So I'm just going to apply a little tiny bit right on top of the bronzer, very lightly. It gives a beautiful color to the face without looking like you're actually wearing a blush. These Tarte blushes are my absolute favorite. They stay on all day long without turning a different color on your skin, and they just stay put so nicely, especially on oily skin. And then I just apply a little tiny bit to my temples to kind of blend in the blush. Now I'm moving on to a highlight. For today, I'm using the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Highlight in the color Lightscapade. It's a very, very light highlight, which is kind of like a champagne opal. I really like it. It's not too crazy for everyday wear, and I like using a little fan brush. This is from the brand Sourme Professional Series. It's the 965 fan brush, and I just dab it in a little bit and apply it right on top of the blush, and I sweep it around the side of my temple too, and then I take a little tiny bit more, apply it right down my nose really quick and on top of my lip. Let me get a little bit more. I usually apply it like right in the center of the Cupid's bow, and then a little tiny bit on my forehead and chin. So that just gives a really pretty, like a Victoria's Secret angel kind of effect, and it makes you look like a supermodel. So for my eyebrows, I use like a couple different products. Usually I go for the MAC Omega eyeshadow to fill in my eyebrows, but today I'm going to use the It Cosmetics Your Brows But Better, and it has a little spoolie brush on one side and the actual like liner for your brows on the other side. So that's what I'm going to use today, and I believe it is in, yep, it's in the color Universal Transforming Taupe. So first I'm just going to brush out my eyebrows and then start filling them in. This step is like so tedious to me. Like I always have to get my eyebrows looking good, or I don't know. I have very light eyebrows, so I always have to fill in my eyebrows. I start at the bottom and kind of like draw an intense line, and then I kind of feather the pencil on the top part Okay, so right now they look really scary, right? But I am going to brush them out a lot using the spoolie brush. And this will kind of tone the eyebrow down a little bit and not make me look so angry, because I do not want to look angry. So now I'm just going to take the brush that I applied powder with, and I'm just going to tap right over my eyebrows. And this will kind of tone down my eyebrows and not make them look as harsh. Okay guys, now moving on to my eyes. I like to prime my eyes using the Painterly Paint Pot. This is just a nice skin tone base. And I just prime my lid and all the way up to my eyebrow. Oh, and if you guys like my nail polish, I'm wearing this one from China Glaze. It's so pretty, red and sparkly, and it's called Ruby Pumps. It is like my all-time favorite Christmas color. So if you guys are looking for a fun nail polish, that is it. I've actually been looking for a nail polish that has red and green glitter in it, but I cannot find any. So if you guys know of a nail polish that is just red and green glitter, or it could have like white and like gold or silver glitter in it too, but I really want one that has red and green. So I'm going to take my MAC palette. I actually dropped this the other day and a couple eyeshadows broke, so I had to mend them back together using rubbing alcohol, which was kind of a nightmare, but I made it work. And this was one of them that got cracked. It's in the color Blank Type, and I like using this for a base. So I just apply this all over my entire eyelid, and this will just help blend the other colors that I'm going to apply on top. Remember how I told you that I dropped my MAC palette? I also dropped my Lorac 2 palette, and it seriously has glass everywhere because it broke. So it has little tiny particles of glass, but I really want to use the colors still. So I'm going to be careful, and I'm going to use the LT Brown right here. It's just a matte light brown. And I am going to use my Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm applying that right in the crease. And then I'm going to take my favorite crease brush ever from Sephora. It's the Pro Tapered Crease number 19. It is amazing. Definitely put this in your shopping cart on Sephora. And I'm taking this dark brown called Cocoa at the very, very end and applying that right in the outer V. So this is the eyeshadow look that I usually tend to go for every day. It's just light and neutral. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of gold on my lid, and I always top it off using my MAC Vanilla Pigment, which is my all-time favorite eyeshadow. It is gorgeous. So I use my MAC 239 brush, and I kind of like dab whatever is on the little cap thing. And I apply that right underneath of my brow bone and also in the inner tear duct area. And this just gives a little bit of light, and it just looks so pretty. I love this eyeshadow. Instead of using an eyeliner, I like to use this NARS eyeshadow in the shade Galapagos. And it is a beautiful, dark, rich chocolate brown that has a ton of gold little shimmers in it. I use the MAC 214 brush to apply this. I just sweep it right on top of my lash line and kind of smudge it right into the lashes as well. I just think that using an eyeshadow as a liner gives a softer effect, especially for every day, instead of using a dark liquid liner or cream eyeliner. And I just really like how this has the gold shimmers. It's just beautiful. And I also bring it down underneath of my lashes as well, but I only go about halfway. Now to add a little bit of glam and sparkle for the holiday season, I love this crystal eyeliner. It's a sparkly eyeliner from NYX, and it's in the shade, let's see what it is called, 104. It just says Crystal Silk, so I'm not sure if that's the name, but it's a very light golden champagne shade. And I like to apply a little bit on my lower lash line. And this just gives a little sparkle to your eye without going overboard. And then I just kind of smudge it out with my finger if I feel like I applied a little bit too much, or if it's going on a little bit too like gloopy. I'm just going to curl my eyelashes and then apply some mascara. I am using the Shu Uemura eyelash curler. I bought this a couple years ago because every single person that I watched on YouTube used this curler, and I just thought that I had to buy it. You know, it's one of those items where YouTube made me buy it. Definitely a YouTube made me buy it product. So, I mean, I use it every day, so, I mean, I like it. So for mascara, I am using my all-time favorite, which is the Maybelline Full and Soft Mascara. It is just wonderful. I talk about it in like every single video. I'm just applying 1 to 2 coats of this mascara. Okay, so my mascara is done, and now I'm going to move on to my lips. I'm first going to use a sugar scrub from Lush, and this is actually called Santa's Lip Scrub, and it tastes like Coca-Cola, and it is red sugar with little tiny sugar hearts, which is really cute. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a little bit on my lips to scrub any dead skin off. And this will make it a lot easier to apply my lipstick without looking like I have gross, cracked, and dry lips. Okay, and now I'm going to be using a lip liner from NYX, and it's called Hot Red, and a lipstick from MAC that is called Russian Red. First, I'm going to line my lips using the NYX lip liner. And I'm actually going to fill in my lips with the lip liner too. To clean up any edges for the lip liner, I am just using my MAC Studio Finish Concealer. And this will just make sure that the line is just perfect and not messed up. Because I can never get lip liner right. I always have to use this concealer. Now it's time to apply the lipstick. So the lipstick tops off this makeup look. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. And let me know if you like videos where I'm actually talking instead of just putting music over it, or a voiceover type of video. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I forgot to mention what I am wearing right now, so I'll just do like a little tiny OOTD. So my shirt is from Fashion Nova, and I really like it because it's kind of like a fake hoodie. So it's actually like the shirt, and then it looks like a fake hoodie, and then it has a hood, which is pretty cool. I really like how it looks like I'm wearing an actual hoodie underneath of the shirt. And then on the bottom, I have my pajama pants. But nobody is looking at that, now are they? Nope. I think every single YouTuber actually wears like sweatpants or pajama pants on the bottom, and then they get dressed up from the top up. And then I know I'm going to be getting a lot of questions about my bandana. This is from Kmart, I'm pretty sure. It was like $1. And then I already told you guys what I have on my nails. It's the China Glaze Ruby Pumps. For my jewelry, I have this necklace on that is from Things Remembered, and it actually has my name engraved and my initials. And then for my earrings, I believe these are sterling silver from Target, and they're just really cute. And then I have my spoon ring on, and this sterling silver ring that I bought down Ocean City. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I have some more festive holiday videos to come on my channel, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.